Hey, hi, how are you? So I had a hat on because my hair's a mess, but it was like a Carolina hat. I'm not trying to be like a whole Carolina stan right now, but today I'm gonna do my September wrap up. This was my biggest month of reading ever, and it was my first month of fully reading for fun. So August I started in the middle of the month, and September was my first full month, and I just went ham. Like whatever I wanted to read, I read, and I made a hopefuls, but I didn't really stick to it that much. And then at the end of the month I tried to catch up, but it is what it is. I'm going to go through everything I read, and I'm so excited because I had so many good books this month. I actually had 2 5-star reads, and for me I feel like that's a lot because I don't give out 5 stars like willy-nilly, you know? Like, you have to be a really good book to get 5 stars from me. So 5 paper books, physical books, and then I have 3 that I read on my Kindle. First book is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I tried to annotate it and I wasn't a huge fan of annotating. I gave this 3 stars, I think. It was just kind of like there. It was mediocre. I'm still gonna finish the rest of the trilogy because I already have the Hawthorne Legacy, and then the Final Gambit I'm debating on getting because I don't really want a hardcover. I want a paperback, but we'll see, depending on how I feel about the Hawthorne Legacy. But I hear it gets better, so I'm gonna try and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's about this very rich man who dies and leaves his like 46 something billion dollars to this girl, Avery Grams. He's in like, she doesn't know him, not related, anything. His only rule is she has to live in the house for a year, I think. And the problem is that's where his whole family lives, like his 2 daughters and his 4 grandsons live there on his like estate, and they didn't get the money, so that's kind of hard. And the girl Avery Grams is going through like trying to figure out how she got the money, like why she got the money, what he saw in her. And yeah, it's just like a little journey, and even though it is a trilogy, you do find out why she has the money in here, so it's pretty cool. Next, I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. I was trying to get into the fall mood. I did accidentally crack the spine, and that made me cry a lot because I hate cracked spines. I'm just noticing that. This is about a writer who has an accident, and her husband needs to find somebody to finish writing the rest of her books because she's in a contract. So he finds this girl, and the girl moves in, is going through the office, and finds a manuscript about the writer's life. The writer can't talk or anything. Like she's not dead, but she's like catatonic, I guess is the word. And she's the new writer, the girl that moved in, starts to get feelings for the guy Jeremy, and it's just like, it's so much. Their twin daughters died, and they have 1 kid left, and it's just like, and there is a extended chapter version that just came out recently, and I'm super excited. I just bought it yesterday. So yeah, this one I gave 5 stars. It was so good. It literally had my jaw on the floor, and I don't say that lightly either. Like, I'd say like, yeah, it made my jaw drop, but like this, my jaw was on the floor for most of the book, and it was really good. Really good. So next I read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I heard about this on TikTok and loved it. Like, loved the concept of like billionaire and like a girl and like grumpy ex-sunshine, so I tried it. It was really good. 4 stars though, but really good. I wanted to annotate it, but I didn't. I also don't like that the pages are super white, but personal preference. But it has the matte cover that a lot of people are really into. But basically this girl submits a proposal, like tearing apart Disneyland's biggest, like most expensive ride they've ever built. And the dude is like, fine, I'll take her because she like thinks outside the box, like the grumpy guy, and adds her to like the developers team, and they kind of like fall in love, maybe? Do they? I don't know. It's definitely really good. I am really excited to read the rest of the books. There's Terms and Conditions, which follows the other brother, and then there's one more, I think it's coming out this coming year, and it follows the last brother, and I'm super excited. But yeah, I like the whole spice of it. It was pretty spicy. Oh, by the way, Verity was kind of spicy. Inheritance games, no spice. Like, I didn't even, the spiciest thing was a kiss. That was literally the spiciest thing in the Inheritance game. I'm excited to hear about one of the other two brothers. One of them I didn't really like. He kind of seemed like a dick. But the other one, he seemed pretty funny. That's the next one, the terms and conditions. That one I really want to read. The last one, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I might find more attachment to that brother in the second book, but I love this one. Next, I read Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. So this one I have history with, right? Like, I have beef with this book. Back when I started reading in the middle of August, this was like highly recommended to me, and it sounded like such a cute read. I got pissed when I found out it wasn't out yet. I was so mad. But it came out. I pre-ordered it, of course. I got it the day it came out, but I didn't have time to read it until I think like a week or two after it came out. And y'all, this book is so good. It's not even like extremely spicy or anything, and it's a very short book too. And I wasn't expecting a lot because I know Lynn Painter writes a lot of YA romance, like high school romance with like no spice. But this one, I was thinking about this for literally 2 weeks after I read it. I still think about it. I love it. I love it so much. It's a perfect fall book. So this girl is at like Starbucks, and she is really late for work for her new job, and they call for Amy 3 times. They're like, Amy, your pumpkin spice latte is ready. She ordered a pumpkin spice latte, right? Isabella Shea. And she's like way back behind in line. So she's like, fine, they called for this girl. I'm gonna take it. I'm Amy. She accidentally spills it on this dude, right? It's like, girl. And she was cleaning it off of him, basically rubbing his chest, and had a little meet cute. And he's like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Amy. And she's like, oh crap, I'll have to tell him later. And then come to find out, he's her boss. It's just so good. It's so good. Oh, I highly recommend it. If you like rom-coms, the banter, great. Great. I gave this 5 stars, by the way. Oh, the fine print, I gave 4 stars. I don't know if I said that, but Accidentally Amy, 5 stars. The next book I read was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaels. I have no idea how to say his last name, but it's about this girl who shoots her husband in the face 5 times and then just goes silent. And she's now in like an insane asylum because obviously she's silent. They are gonna think she's mental. And it's about this guy who is a psychotherapist, and he really wants to help her. So when a job opening comes at where she is being held, he signs up for it, and he's like, I want to fix her. That is who I want to fix. So this was so good. I had my jaw on the floor. It's no romance. It's purely thriller. Had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. And the plot twist at the end, I pride myself on seeing plot twists, right? Seeing them ahead of time. I'm like, yeah, I mean, even unpredictable stuff, I can usually guess. This one got me. It was so good. Like, I literally screamed. Ew. So good. 5 stars. The next books I read were on my Kindle. I read one arc that was Bryn by BJ Alpha. I signed up for this arc in August, and I got it in September, the beginning of September, and I had like 2 weeks to read it, so I had to like drop what I was doing and read it. It was a dark romance about this guy who finds a sex trafficked girl in a crate and rescues her. It was not for me. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to not be bitchy, but it just was not for me. It was basically written out. There was no plot, very little plot, and it was so confusing. There was no character development. They just like jumped. So like on one page, dude was like, yeah, all my brothers are stupid for being protective. I would never be that way. Next page, literally next page, after a 15-minute car ride, dude's like, oh my god, she's mine. I'm gonna save her from everything in the world. So I wasn't a fan of that. That started us off wrong. I wanted to DNF it so bad at 20%. That's when I was like, can't take this. But I pushed through. I gave it 1.8 stars, I think. rounded it up to 2 to be nice. If you are into like morally black characters and very weird sex, then read it. But if you want a plot and a story and like character development, do not read it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So the first book that I actually finished on my Kindle is like actually at the beginning of the month. It was the very first book I read. It was an arc for Long Way Home by Melissa Grace. So this was the third one in the Midnight in Dallas series, which is about like this boy band in Dallas and like their love stuff. Going into it, I wasn't really sure what I wanted from it. I wasn't expecting like Hallmark movie vibes, but I got Hallmark movie vibes, so I was kind of putting me off, and I was like, maybe I want to DNF it, but then I was like, no, it might get better. It definitely got better. Like, I wasn't really into the whole Hallmark movie vibes, and then the second half wasn't really Hallmark movie-ish. That's something that took away from the point. I gave it 3 stars, I think. 3 or 4 stars. At 3.5, I rounded it up to 4. Yeah. The dog was unrealistic for me. The dog, like, they would say something like, hey, Izzy, and she'd go, ruff. Unrealistic to me, so that took off some points. But the character development was pretty good, right? It was really good. It was really cute. It was a really cute story. This girl is a news anchor, and she also had a boyfriend. The boyfriend she thought was gonna propose. No. Her house catches on fire, and someone else gets the promotion when she wanted it, so she literally like word vomits all over everybody, and then has to move back to Nashville to stay with her friend and try to like figure out her life. And she goes on this journey of like reevaluating her life goals and like what she wants based on this guy and like how happy she is in Nashville. It's actually a really good book. I feel like I went too harsh on my review when I wrote it on Goodreads. I would give it a solid 4 stars now that I'm looking back. Not a 3.5, solid 4. It was very good. And Melissa Grace, the author, is super sweet. I follow her on Instagram, and she's just so amazing. And the dogs in the book, based off real dogs, makes it even better, right? Yeah. So the last book I read this month was The Naughty and Nice Clause by Kate Callaghan. I think I'm saying her name right. I have no idea. This was my first NetGalley read, right? So, it was really cute. I was expecting Hallmark movie vibes going in. No. It's like a Christmas magic meets Hallmark movie. Like, if you know the movie The Santa Claus, where they have the snow globe and they shake it and they like go to the North Pole and like dude puts on the coat and he's Santa. That plus a Hallmark movie. It's so cute. So this girl and her like co-CEO of her family's company, she doesn't like him because he's like a super stick in the mud and like business this, business that, no fun. So he gets really drunk and like whatever, she helps him home. So she leaves a Christmas party that she was throwing that he told her not to, and there's a fire, burns the whole kitchen, right? So he asked her to like repay him, come home with him for Christmas. She's like, okay, fine. He's literally Santa's son. His dad was Santa. His dad died, by the way. But his dad was Santa. I'm just like, what? It's so good. Like, it's so good. I think I gave it 4 stars because it wasn't like there for me for perfect, but very good book. Definitely should add it to your TBR if you like banter, rom-com, Christmas magic, Hallmark movie-esque vibes. Add it to your TBR for Christmas, for like December, November, to get in the Christmas mood. But those were the 8 books I read during the month of September. I DNF'd every summer after. I can talk more about that if y'all want me to. And then I had 4 current reads that I'm carrying over into October because I didn't have time to finish them, probably because I was reading 4 books at once. That was my September reads. I am super excited to see what October brings, and I will see y'all in the next one.